What's up, guys? Azeem and Kamil here from the Almost Grown Up podcast. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you keep up with the latest videos. We'll see you soon.
3, 2, 1. Double clap. My clap was so bad.
It's fine. But also, I think mine was hidden, so you couldn't really. It doesn't matter. You'll figure it out, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's all good. How's everyone? We all good?
This is like when artists at gigs are like, "How are we doing?" Everyone's like, "Yeah." Like, when is the last time you ever asked someone how you doing? They were like, "Yeah." You did that, you'd be like, "You're a fucking freak."
And the lights turned on. Dimmed.
So yeah, YouTube, you can't answer us, but you can let us know in the comments. But if you're talking to me, I'm good, man.
Yeah, how are you? Yeah.
We've been sat here fiddling around with this fucking sicko setup. Look at that.
Man, stepping it up one episode at a time.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to see what's outside of the frame, but
It's fine.
living it large, boy.
It's a couple of weights holding the table together.
I know that. This is a custom-made setup.
Yeah, it's definitely custom.
I can guarantee there's no other setup like this
Yeah.
in the world.
That's because it's the wrong way to set it up. But
Yeah, it
fine.
works.
It works.
It works.
Halfway through the podcast, the table just collapses.
We've had a podcast.
We'll be back.
We had a podcast with the backdrop's falling off.
Yeah. No, we're good.
So I was about to say never trust duct tape, but did you hear of that girl who got gorilla glue in her hair?
First of all, how would it end up in her hair? What
Then
she
put it in there to style it. And then she had to have it like
she deserves that.
she had to. Well, yeah. It was like a willing decision, and then they had like it was huge on the internet, and then on the interwebs.
Obviously, I'm not that.
And then she had to have like a couple of surgeons or something to like take it out or something. It's out now, and her hair's
So did she have to?
probably not great, but I stopped keeping up with it.
I would have thought like the way to fix that is right. You're gonna have to just buzz cut that shit.
I think that's what they were trying to avoid. But they had like
Fucking super glue in your
they
hair.
had surgeons.
trying to
They had
avoid?
like a surgery for it. Like they had like the blue sheets. They had. Well, I suppose they have to need the PPE anyway. But
Oh my god,
and I'm like, there could be.
that's such a waste of resources.
Yeah, there could be some people who are actually like have life-threatening situations and didn't put them in that scenario willingly by themselves. Whereas this girl has been like, do you know what? Because I think she made a YouTube video about like how you can use it to style your hair.
I'm gonna have to dislike that video.
I think Gorilla Glue, the brand, I think they actually tweeted or they put out some statement. They're like, we didn't know we'd ever have to say this, but don't put our products in your hair.
It's just stupidity, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like when you have to go to like, Homebase or like the DIY store, the hardware store for all you Americans.
Hardware.
That's like you shouldn't be getting your hairstyling products from there. When it says industrial strength, anything industrial strength doesn't belong on your body.
Jerome used to put super glue in his hair.
Jerome, what are you
Because
doing?
he has to have the massive mohawk.
Yeah, but not super glue. Don't you use like chicken fat or something? Or is that like I've just made that up. Or goose fat or something. Because it's like really
Are
sticky.
we making a turkey or are we making a hairstyle?
You're not sticking wood together. That's for sure.
Chicken fat.
Yeah, I think. I'll fucking Google this.
Yeah, what are your sources?
I think Google.
But yeah, I know super glue is common, but they don't put it like to the root, whereas her hairstyle was like flat on her head.
Oh.
Like, like some black girls do that thing where they like, in fact, even some white girls, like the old like chav white style, like hairstyle, and they like really slick it back, and it looks like your head's like, it's like you can see the shape of your skull.
That can't be good for
like
the
you can see
hairline.
like where the bones haven't quite fused just yet
I can't find anything.
because they're just fucking soft.
I'm just getting Uber Eats. Order chicken.
Wait,
Mohawk Road East.
Wait,
I typed in.
Hang on.
I typed in chicken fat
Wait,
mohawk.
you googled Gorilla Glue.
What?
What did you Google?
Chicken fat mohawk. Because like, what am I supposed to search? How to style huge mohawk. I don't fucking know. Not cohawk, mohawk.
You should screen record this. So you put it up in the middle. You don't know how to use.
I don't know. I just gel. We'll look into this. Jamie, look into this. Yeah, whatever.
I'm not Jamie.
Can't bothered. lost
But yeah,
interest.
I think we took a. Did we have a week off a podcast? I think we
did.
We
yeah,
did.
because I had some performance things, and then
Kamil had to perform.
yeah, on camera too.
Which aired last night, and you didn't even tell me about it.
Yeah, I kind of forgot. Why? There's going to be another one. So I play with an artist called Luna LePage. It's for a festival that was called Out of the Box, and it's just a live stream. Well, we recorded it, pre-recorded, but it went out. So it's going out in the next. Bro, my stomach needs to stop rumbling. And it's going to go out on the next 2 Saturdays. So next Saturday, I don't know who the artists are, and then the Saturday after that is myself playing with an artist called Danny Sylvia. So yeah,
Big fan.
I'll put a link in the description for you to check out if you want.
There you go. But
Bro, this
but I'm like, yeah, I can hear your stomach from here.
microphone.
my might be picking that shit up.
So that chicken fat talk. I'm hungry.
We just eat mohawks. But yeah, so that happened, and also, if for everyone who doesn't think COVID is real or it's a hoax, and you haven't quite had someone near you pass away from it, then I don't ever wish that upon you. But it's happened to some people close to us, so I think we just decided to be a bit more careful.
Well, we're always careful,
and
though.
Now getting.
But we like fully stepped up. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So I think we didn't quite think about how close was the testing place here. It's only like down the road. From
It's
here,
down the
right?
street. Yeah.
So, yeah, you got tested today, right?
Yeah. Oh,
I hope
dude.
so.
If anyone out there, yeah, just lied. If anyone out there,
He just texted me negative. I didn't even see a screen. Just
show you if you want.
no, I'm good. I trust you.
Yeah, I'm sure many people out there have already had tests done, and you know what that feels like. But I was explaining it to you.
I actually haven't.
I was going to say I was explaining it to you.
Wait, hang on. So, actually, I'll let you go.
Yeah, so
Well,
for anyone that doesn't know, you go in and then sign up online or whatever, and then you get there and there's just this fucking cotton swab like about this long, and you're looking at this going, "Where's that gonna go?" I don't fucking know where's it gonna go with that. And it's like, yeah, so you take that and then you first swab your tonsils, or where your tonsils would be, obviously if you had them removed. So you fucking shove this cotton bud in, and you try to like I have quite a bad gag reflex as it is anyway. So there's like a fine line between like gagging and not gagging, and it's like,
do you only get the one?
Cross that.
Do you only get the one cotton?
Yeah. So don't put it in your nose first, because then it'll be fucking rancid.
It's okay. Wait, hang on. So, what happens if you have like a really bad gag reflex and
You just got to fucking go for it.
no, but what if someone throws up and they've just thrown up on their thing?
No, you have to like
do they give you another one?
I think, yeah, I'm sure they give you another. No, just you get one shot and that's it. No, like I think you have to like go pretty deep to make yourself gag to vomit, like Steve-O, when you just ramming his fingers down his throat. But anyways, so you're kind of scrub your tonsils, which is kind of gross. You're just there going oh. Then you do that.
Make
You
it
do
itchy
that.
at the back of your throat as well.
Kinda, yeah. You're like, okay, fine. And then you go up your nose and you're like, right. Oh, keep going. Keep going. Like, right. Like, I mean, his cotton swab's this big. You might, I don't know, you're probably going like that long. Like a lot deeper than you think, you would in your nose, right? And then, so you're going in. It's kind of fine, like, sort of being in there, and you got to, like, swirl it around a couple of times, like 10 seconds or whatever. And then there's the bit where you take it out. It's just like, I don't know, it's just itchy. Instantly, your eye just starts watering. It's just this fucking
Your eyes water
feeling.
really quickly as well. Like I remember you used to like sneeze at band practice. I didn't.
No, I yawn. Whenever I yawn,
when you yawn, I wouldn't
eyes...
hear it. I wouldn't see him for a second. I turn back around. His eyes would just be water. I'm like, "Are you okay?" It's like, "Yeah, just yawned."
Yeah, it's just I don't know why. It's just apparently it's quite common.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of makes sense. But so here's the thing: for anyone who hasn't had this COVID test, and you're like myself who hasn't,
and this is the lateral flow test. So this is what you get when you don't have symptoms. When you have symptoms, I think it's a different test. That's when you go to the drive-through.
Right. So
yeah,
you need to have your like it needs to go in your nasal passage. So people think it goes up your nose. No, it goes in. Your nose and your mouth meet at the back. That's where you can sort of swallow your own snot, so to speak, or like
it's all connected.
Or like so it's got to go through that little passageway. So my one on the right is nice. I'm pretty sure it's collapsed. I've got like a deviated septum or something because I only really breathe out of this one anyway, unless I pull this out to the right.
Oh.
And then I can actually breathe in and out of my right nostril.
Yeah, that doesn't look great, I'll be honest.
Thanks. Don't feel great either. I mean, it feels great because I can breathe.
I never knew that about you.
I've only discovered it in the last like maybe 3 or 4 years about myself. And I've been like,
But
I can actually breathe fully now. And like this whole time I've been like, imagine how much better of like an athlete I could be if I had double the amount of air going in. I've got like half speed air intake at the
you
moment.
can breathe with this, you know that, right? And you get a lot more oxygen through your mouth.
No, you get more through your nose. So breathe in fully through your mouth right now, right? So don't breathe in through your nose. Just right? Your lungs full? Yeah. Now go in more through the nose, only the nose.
Yeah, I can choke on air.
I remember when I was at school, they made us do that. They're like, that's why it's more efficient to breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth because you can exhale faster.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, that is the protocol, I guess.
Yeah, because you can take in.
Yeah,
more.
but you can still breathe in through your mouth, is what I'm saying. Yeah, and when you're really tired or when you're really exhausted, you would naturally start breathing in through your mouth. You don't go. Do you know what I mean? You can get a lot more in and out at volume.
It's just ASMR with breathing.
It's like the opposite of ASMR.
So, it's like, what?
The opposite of ASMR.
Yeah, it's like just sounds to stress you out.
Go to sleep.
Just got water dripping. But yeah, so I didn't know, as I said, I don't know what Kamil's doing out of camera shot.
I'm just wiping my nose. Nobody wants to see that.
I'm sure someone does, like a weird, like niche OnlyFans page, but we're not going back into that again.
No.
Anyway, so I thought I had like vocal nodes. Maybe like it was in like 2013, I think. And so I went to an ENT specialist, and they were going to put a camera down, basically through that passage to see. So
through your nose or through your mouth?
Through the nose. So it goes back down that way. Which, when you think about it, why would it go through the nose? Why don't you just go down?
Probably just to avoid the gag.
Yes, that's why.
Because they would have had to knock you out to.
Yeah, so they sat me down in this chair. Got this like fiber optic cable. It was just like a cable. I mean, it wasn't like there's no way I can show you, but
it was like a piece of string, shoelace.
I'd say shoelace is probably close to.
Oh, that's thick.
Yeah. So I looked at it and I was like, I mean, I looked like in Google the procedure, so I sort of knew it was going to happen. And at this point, as I said, I've only discovered this like collapsed like nasal passage in the last 3 or 4 years. So I didn't know this about myself. I knew I had trouble breathing, and I always used to have like a popped ear, like, you know, when it kind of sounds like someone's doing this to you.
Oh yeah.
When I used to go for like really intense workouts or something. Like, do you remember when you do the school run, around 3 laps around the school?
Yeah.
It used to happen every time. Like within that, like whenever I start breathing too much, just do that. And I, obviously, as a kid, you never knew how to articulate that. So anyway, I sit down in this chair, and they go for my right nostril, which is the closed one, and they're like shoving this thing in there, and I'm like, and it's like fucking jarring anyway, right? So, they can't get it in there, and I'm like, fuck, and like you said, my right eyesight wore into shit. So I think they got like a little bit of the way in, but then just couldn't go anywhere through. And now looking back on it, if I just gone like this,
they probably would
have been able to go in. So they pull out, and
nice,
thanks. They lube the thing up again, and then they go for the other one. This one goes in, and this is why I'm so scared of having a COVID test, and why I'm just being so strict. One of the reasons why I'm being so strict with isolating is because I just don't want to have to go take a test, like risk myself, just because it got into. So if you turn my head sideways, like this, I'd say it got maybe like 3-4 centimeters in. I could feel myself like tunnel vision happening.
Oh shit!
And I was like, in my head, I was like, Azeem, you're gonna pass out. You're gonna pass out. And then I was like, I think I was about to tell them, but I was like, how do I just say it? Like, they've probably done this procedure to people like a million times. How am I going to tell them I'm going to pass out? And they were like, nah, you ain't, you bitch. And then I think I was about to say something, and then I just remember waking up, and they were all just like, "Are you okay?" And I was like, yeah, fine. Because by that point they'd taken out my nose. I didn't even feel that. But this is why I'm so terrified. And when you describe this whole experience of, because
It sounds worse than it actually is.
First of all, that was someone else doing it to me. Like, you have to do this to yourself. Like, imagine, like, I'm saying imagine, I see you haven't done it, but imagine you're going to pass out. Like, what's really like, what do you get squeamish about?
Probably like blood and just cuts and things like that.
Yeah, so imagine you had to like make an incision on.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and they made you watch it. I would pass out. Right, I don't have that in me. So that's why I'm so terrified of getting this.
So
COVID
two
test.
things, they're a bit different because I think the camera is a hell of a lot thicker than the tiny, teeny fucking cotton swabs.
Yeah, but it's also textured. The camera's smooth.
So it is. I mean, there's like a little fuzzy bit on the end.
Yeah, it's not a cotton bud, right?
Yeah, but you don't feel it. Because they're like little fine. It's not like a cotton bud that you will put in your ear where it's quite like a solid dense bit.
Take a picture and send it to me.
Okay, cool.
In your hand for like scale.
I'll just vlog it, shall I? Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have the video here next time so you guys can see.
I probably won't do that.
No, not of you doing it. I've seen a couple of funny videos of people doing it. The guy just like, Have you seen that on Instagram? Yeah. And there's like daughters filming it. She's just dying from laughter.
But also, I don't think the cotton swab goes in as deep as the camera because for them they were going to they were going to the vocal.
But they didn't get that far.
Oh, right.
That's what I'm saying. They got like 3 or 4 centimeters in, and then I passed out.
Oh, mate. You'll be fine.
And then they wouldn't let me leave the hospital or do the procedure. Because I was like, okay, just go again. I'll try not to this time, because now I sort of know what the feeling's like.
Yeah.
And they were like, no, we can't. I was like, what do you mean you can't?
Just do it again.
Yeah. And they were like, no, because they thought I might be like epileptic, which I'm not. Because I don't know if I was like if I was like fitting in the chair or whatever. Because I was out.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been moving if you passed out.
Well, I think maybe, I don't know, but
a seizure and passing out are two different things.
Yeah, well, I mean, from my perspective of passing out, maybe I did seizure, but I didn't see it. Do you know what I mean? So my thing is, they wouldn't do the procedure, and then they were like, "You got to have someone pick you up from the hospital," and I was like, "I've come in by myself."
I've just come from school, man.
No, I think I was at uni, so I was home for like the summer holidays.
Oh, okay. Right.
But yeah, that was stress. And then I was like, it was going to be like ages someone could come pick me up, and the hospital was like, I don't know, 10-minute walk.
Yeah.
No, not 10.
Easy for you to just walk back. But...
So I was like, I just walked out, and I was like, you can't keep me here. Like, you're not the police. And that's something I have to keep reminding myself, because like I'm a good citizen. I was like, I don't want to cause a fuss, but I'm leaving. Like the most British.
Did you leave?
Polite, yeah.
Hey, boss man.
Well, I tried to obey them, and I was like, mum or like my sister or like my dad, is anyone about?
No.
They're like, nah. I was like, actually, I can't remember. I think everyone must have been busy or something, which is fair enough. Like, you just go. It wouldn't have been a procedure that you'd expect someone to pass out on. This guy, though.
Oh yeah, fair dude, yeah.
So yeah, that's why I'm terrified. I'm also not a fan of putting things in my body in areas where they're not usually meant to be going up.
That's the whole point of the test, isn't it?
What? The COVID test is just to test how sick you are at putting yourself up your body.
No, because that's where like it resides, isn't it?
I wouldn't know. No. Yeah, not a fan of that. So I had a fun question for us, because we were on the topic of crying, right? Because your eyes water really easy, but not. Well, I'm not talking about eye watering. Now I'm talking about what makes you cry. Like, because
daffodils, long walks on the beach.
Daffodils I get because of pollen.
No. Films, I think.
Hang on, that's back to eye watering though.
Yeah, I'm joking. I'm just taking a piss.
Anyway.
For me, like,
because there's another huge stigma around like men crying.
Yeah, which is a complete bollocks. But so there's, you know, when you get older, right? So there almost seems to be a certain age where, like, you know, when you hurt yourself, as a kid, you cry, right?
Yeah.
And then you kind of,
then you just get angry about it.
Yeah, but
like when you stub your toe, you're like, ah!
Like the emotion change.
Do you know what I mean? You don't see a kid.
Imagine you just on a bus, just like, ah!
You don't see a kid going, stub toe. Fuck, no! What the fuck?
But yeah, so it's like adults and children obviously deal with pain in very different ways. But there's obviously a crossover period where
life beats
you might
down.
cry, you might not cry. When do you stop crying? At what age? What age does the swearing come out?
From physical pain only.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, from physical pain, yeah. Yeah, because emotional pain is different. You wouldn't.
Just
I mean, you would, but-
automatically autopilot to fuck.
But then that's just more anger, though, isn't it? Which is, guess that.
That's more emotion.
Yeah, exactly. But it's like sadness, anger, mix.
Yeah.
But whatever. So there's that. Yeah, and it's just a weird sort of crossover, I think, where you just, you get older and then it's just.
I can't remember the last time I cried from physical pain.
I can't.
It must have been like 11 or 12.
I've had some gnarly like incidents too. I mean, you all know about my broken bone.
Yeah.
And the other broken bone I had was this wrist. Jesus Christ. Oh, that was even more savage. Should I tell the story?
So, but it's on your left side as well.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, this side. I broke my right wrist.
So do you know what?
Broke
So
both together.
funny, like weird fact about me. Like, whenever I was a kid, I always had this like in my head. This is gonna sound so stupid now that I'm about to say this out loud, but I always used to make there be like a competition between my left hand and my left side of my body, my right hand side of my body.
Right.
So like whenever I'd hurt my left hand or like get a cut or a bruise, and I'd be like, oh, the right hand side's winning.
Oh my God.
It's really weird. Like, I used to keep score, like which one's getting hurt more. So yeah, just a weird fact I thought I'd throw in there about me. Hey. I've lost. I don't know who. I'm not keeping score.
I don't know who's winning.
Yeah. It's all fucked now anyway. So yeah, right. Broken wrist, which was actually the reason you started drumming, right? So
Yeah.
blessing in disguise, and now that's your career.
Hey. Yeah.
Sorry, that's ruined the story.
No, but so basically, like I was on a ramp, and then I ended up just sort of jumping back into the ramp, but the board slid down, so I landed on the board, and I just basically just did like a whoop. So my
Head over.
Yeah, 100%, and then my arm was just like here, and then my whole body weight just went with my arm like this, and it just fucking crunched. I remember being just lying on this concrete, bear in mind. And, oh, dude, my leg just went this. I just couldn't help. It was just
When you bust, if she keeps sucking.
it was just like a fish out of water, man. It was just fucking doing it. I couldn't stop it. It's like, oh Jesus Christ! And it wasn't like bone sticking out sort of thing, but it was.
Oh,
It hurt. And
that would have made me pass out.
what's worse is like my mate Dalton. If you're listening, bro, calling you out. He was like, he looked at it. He was like, "No, my mum's a nurse. If it was broken, it'd be red." And I was like, "Okay, cool." So I trusted him. And then I went home, and then it wasn't until probably like 7 hours later that evening. I was like, "This ice isn't helping. Should probably go to the hospital." Went to the hospital, waited like 2.5 hours as you do, and they were like, "So you've broken both bones in your wrist." So one broke and then went into the other one. So then,
When you say wrist, do you mean the
Like,
bones
no,
of
sorry,
the
forearm.
upper arm,
Forearm.
so like the radius and the ulnar?
yeah,
So you broke both of them.
uh-huh.
Fuck.
Yep.
How old were
But
you?
it didn't hurt.
That was like 14, 15?
Yeah, yeah. And then I had
Wait, so how old was collarbone gate?
12? No, fuck no. 13? 13, 14? They were quite close together, I think. Yeah.
This is like, if ever there was a sign the universe is giving you to stop skating, it'd be that.
Oh, that's basically one of the main reasons that I don't like overreach my skill set in skateboarding anymore, because
the consequences.
I
to
can't
pay out.
afford to break any bones now.
Yeah, it's like Travis Barker doing the whole like broke when he broke his ankle and.
He's still gig though.
Yeah.
Boss man. Yeah, but he's sick, so it's fine. But anyway,
Sorry
okay.
for any old scholars who are like, yeah, but Def Leppard. Like, yeah, fine, but
Yeah, they're cool.
he started like that.
Yeah.
Wait, did he?
How
did he? Wait,
he had
how-
an accident.
Why don't I ever
an
question
accident.
why he lost his arm? I was just like, oh, he's always had one arm.
No, he had an accident, I think. And then
What was he doing? Skating.
a car crash, I think. Yeah, he lost his arm skateboarding. he broke it so bad the doctors were like, "You're gonna have to cut it off." I'm afraid there's just no hope for you, mate. We're just gonna have to cut it off.
Oh no! Could you imagine that?
Fuck that, bro.
Anyway, so
Yeah, so
That's
didn't make
the
me
reason why
cry,
I stopped.
and then it just kind of, I don't know. Like obviously it hurt like a motherfucker, but maybe all the pain just went into my foot. Just
that was your foot crying. Oh, so you didn't cry,
no. I can't remember. No, I don't.
but
think
then
I
you
did
were
cry.
quickly reassured by Dalton saying, "Oh, it's not red."
I was like, "You sure?" But for me, I think No, I know because it's me. Certain films, bro, Disney Pixar, they fuck you over. The last film that I saw, I think properly, was a film called Onward. Oh my God. So this film, right? Anyone who's seen it probably knows. I don't think you have seen the film. No. Bro, you get 3/4 of the way through the film. No, like the last 10 minutes of the film. Bro, I've never like
had, 40-minute film.
I've never had the urge to cry so much, but like resisted it. Because
what's this?
Like, you know that feeling where you're about to cry?
Yeah.
It was like 5 times in the space of like 10 minutes. I'm like, the film's gonna fucking kill me.
Or you watched it with your girlfriend? Or
yeah, I was watching it. I think I was watching it with Charlotte.
Yeah, so it's like, don't cry.
Was it Charlotte? Yeah. Oh my goodness, bro. That film hits you hard, bro. You need to watch this film. Trust me.
Okay. I don't like
watch it for next week and
being
see.
On my phone during a podcast, but I'm going to make a note of it.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Onward.
Onward.
Yeah, it's a quite goofy sort of cartoon, Pixar thing. But dude, the storyline of it.
Did you say is Pixar, right?
Yeah, Disney Pixar. It's great. You need to watch it this week, man. Well, if you get time. So yeah, okay. That for me. It's just
Pixar. Come on.
Cartoons make me cry. I've just realised.
I mean,
because I don't really watch films anyway, so like.
Yeah, that's true.
The only ones I do watch are fucking animated.
I don't think I've cried at a film. Do you know? Oh, so that feeling, right? So it's been a bit of a weird one, but so you know the band Architects.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know, British band from Brighton. They had twin brothers in it. One was a drummer, one was a guitarist, and the guitarist basically was suffering from cancer for a long time. Mm-hmm. Didn't come out, like the general public did not know until he passed away in, I think, 2013 or 14, maybe 15.
A while ago.
It was a while ago, and basically that's when it came out, because they kept it totally quiet. Because I'd seen him on tour.
They were recording an album as well at the same time.
They recorded 2 albums with him, having been diagnosed with it. So. They were touring as well throughout, and then I'd seen him on a couple of shows, and it wasn't him. Like, it wasn't Tom playing guitar, and I was like, that's a bit weird. And I didn't really think it, because I couldn't find anything online because no one else knew about it. And then when it finally came out, I was like, oh fuck. And then it was quite a big thing for the band, because they were like, he was also one of the main songwriters, him and the drummer, who's the brother, and they released this thing called. It's like a 20-minute YouTube video. We'll try and link it below. It's called something to do with a ghost or whatever. But okay. That basically looks at the journey the band took, and specifically the brother, because the brother that survived, he basically took on the role and had his first. They released a song called Doomsday, and that was his first sort of foray into writing the lyrics and having a bit of a more stronger part in songwriting. And the way that whole video is edited, because they did this show at Alexandra Palace, and the way it's edited, and it's just so powerful, because they go from this live show part where Sam, the front man, is giving a speech about how the band's so thankful and they wish that Tom had been there, because this is like Ali Pali is sort of like up there. That's like Wembley Stadium, Brixton Academy. There's levels to it, and Ali Pali is one of the ones up there for like a UK band to finally go and play, and they sold it out as well. And the fact that they were doing that without one of their brothers on stage that had helped them get to that point, it was just such a powerful speech. And they edit it in a way, and there's this one song called Gone with the Wind where the final, the main chorus is a sickness with no remedy except the one inside of me. Jesus, you ever wonder how deep you could sink into nothing at all, disintegrate, annihilate me. And that's written by Tom, who's obviously, if you think of it from the perspective of a man who's
about to die,
from cancer, but he's writing it in this way. And then the last chorus, sung in the same way, with the same melody, then he goes, "If I could silence all the doubt in me, accept that what is meant to be is meant to be." And there's this sparks coming down from. I'm even getting
jeez, goosebumps.
There's sparks coming down from the top of the stage and stuff, and because the chorus before that, the crowd sings it, and then Sam he doesn't sing it because he's just on the floor crying, and that every time, even when I'm talking about it now, I'm just fuck, it's so difficult to watch. Yeah, and everyone I show it to as well, every time I watch it, I'm like,
were you there at the gig?
I was there at the gig.
Yeah,
too.
well, that will make a big difference as well. Like, it's because
Yeah.
you're in that moment as well.
I saw them at Brixton Academy too, before they played the Ali Pali show, or announced it, and they did the
Is that
same
when we saw them? Was that
when Ash and everyone was there.
maybe?
No, because
Me, you and Sobi went, your sister. And then Thingy was supporting. Was it Ask? No, that might have been Ask Alexandria. No, Let Live. Never mind.
right.
Yeah.
That was Electric Ballroom. Isn't it?
Yeah, that was it.
But yeah, so he did the same speech again, and there was like me, Sobi, my sister, then Jerome, Kira, his missus, and then like Ash and a couple of his mates. But everyone was crying. There were people I didn't even know they were crying. Everyone was just hugging. It was like one of the like that kind of shit. Because I've been following the band for so long, that's what's made me like get really close to crying. But I've had to do what you did, like just hold it back and just be like, "Fuck." We already hit the half-hour mark.
We did, yeah.
Fuck.
I got so into crying stories.
Well, we talked about COVID for the first part, I suppose.
Yeah.
But yeah, that kind of stuff is up there. In terms of movies, there's this movie called The Blind Side, which doesn't really make me cry, but I'm just like, there's a woman that is played by Sandra Bullock, and it's actually based off a true story as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'd recommend watching it. It's about American football, so there you go. It's
Up my street.
yeah, exactly. But her character is just such a nice person, and like the kid that she sort of like takes in, he's so like timid. He's fucking huge though. Like that's why he became like a really famous NFL player. But he could basically fuck anyone up, but he's just so timid and like just shy. And he's like got this protective instinct thing. It's obviously like, you know, cheesed up for the sake of the movie, but it's just it's like a feel good movie. But I'm like, why is this woman so nice? It kind of makes you want to cry. It's like you think you're a good person, then you see someone else, and you're like, well, fuck, I'm terrible. Compared to you. But yeah, I think there's that stigma around. To be fair, we're making fun of it, but we've both just admitted right now on this podcast that we wanted to cry, but we held it back.
Yeah, but it's not necessarily.
but I've got do you know what? This might be a longer podcast. This is opening out into a bigger topic.
Cool.
Because so women are always like, oh, men need to be more in touch with their feminine side or like their emotions and that kind of stuff, right? You tell me, right, women, if you had your man bawling his ass off every fucking time something emotional happened, you'd be like, nah.
Every time's different,
like,
though, innit?
You guys like the idea. Like, this is not just like, they're also like, this applies to men too, but not with crying. Each of the sexes likes the idea of a certain thing until it actually happens and they realize what it is to deal with it. It's convenient for them when they want it to happen.
Yeah, but that's generalization, though, isn't it? Like everyone's going to be different.
Yeah. I'm sure there were many women out there who are like, I don't want my man to cry. I'd really rather he didn't.
Yeah.
But obviously you can't say that now because it's not politically correct.
Yeah, no, I get
so
that.
This is the.
But you also need to experience it as well, because like, so I'm pretty certain some women will be like, oh yeah, I wish he was more in touch with his feminine side, and then he cries and she goes, oh, I kind of like this.
Maybe not.
Yeah,
because
or you know,
I feel like a lot of time women, because they're used to dealing with other women when they cry, right?
Yeah.
Again, this is a broad generalization, but I feel like this is. We need to get a female on this show to get their perspective.
We need to be allowed to have people.
Yeah. Come on, Boris. So they're used to consoling other women. Now, when a man finally does cry, I feel like a lot of women, they'll either start because the only example that they've had of consoling a male that's crying up until that point most likely would have been a child, right? Because men they're not frequent criers.
Yeah.
Whatever the reason behind that is, for the sake of this conversation, doesn't really matter. But because they don't cry often, the only yardstick that woman has to console is either another woman or a child. And so she will assume the role of what will essentially be the female best friend or the mother, who's usually there to console the crying child or the female friend, right? So when it's now a grown man that's crying, I feel like there's a certain level of panic that comes from the woman's side, because she's like, how do I deal with this? Because that's usually the alpha, that's usually the person who knows what's going on. They're usually like, and I say alpha in the most broad sense, like I don't mean like, oh man, you don't cry. I mean alpha in the sense that when stuff goes wrong, they're like, okay, cool, chill, take a step back. Let's take stock of the situation.
Not every guy's like that though. Some are like almost emotional, where they don't think, they just react. and not in
Yeah.
always the best way.
But you know what I mean?
I get where you're coming from.
There's
though,
like a role that's assumed by that man, and now it's totally shifted, and now not the higher ground, but the sort of the shoulder, the rock, so to speak, is now the woman. And I feel like they're not afraid of being the rock, but they're afraid of the man not being able to.
It's a bit of a role reversal, isn't it? Like,
yeah,
but quite quick.
And yeah, it's quite quick, and it's also because like. Because when you cry, it's never going to be like a slow thing that comes on. It's going to be like like the floodgates open.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of women, they like the idea of this man who's in touch with his emotions and he's able to cry. But then it'll happen once, twice, and then you set a precedence, right? It's like with any relationship. And then the guy's going to be like, oh, okay, cool. So now it's okay for me to cry because it was fine that one time. Then you just like, now it's open. My floodgates are now open.
Yeah.
Now the woman's like,
but I guess obviously this is all coming from our minds where
it's very different. But I just so I'm not saying this as gospel truth. I'm saying this as maybe like a red flag and for like a point for consideration. Like I think women need to be careful what you wish for because you'll end up with a big crybaby man. But also, I don't think you should try and white knight it as much, you know? Like, don't try and be like, oh, yeah, I want men to be this way. Then you kind of put down the alpha, quote-unquote, alpha male who doesn't cry because he's not in touch with enough. And then when the guy finally does cry, they're like, oh, I don't want this.
Yeah, it's like,
because then you
won't know until you experience it, then do you? So
yeah.
it's all well and good saying something. But yeah, if you haven't experienced it, then you don't know for sure whether you do or you don't want that. So, I mean, obviously they're well within their right to say that they do.
Yeah,
because they probably never had that. So like, oh yeah, just it'd be nice if he was a bit, more sensitive or whatever.
Grass is always greener. The man could always cry more.
But yeah. But I mean, going back to why sort of like with the film, like why I stopped myself crying. It wasn't like
I must be manly.
It wasn't like that. I just didn't want to cry. Like
no, but you did. Your body wanted to, and so did mine.
But I was like thinking about it. I was like, oh no way is this film gonna make me cry. I was like, come on man, you got this. Like
I quite like a challenge though. I go back to that Architects video every now and then, and I always try and see if it makes me feel the same way, and it literally does every time. So I'm just like,
but then there's like
pop
a thing where just because you don't cry doesn't mean you're not sad. So you can watch a sad film.
Oh yeah,
still feel sad.
Yeah, 100%.
But just because you don't cry doesn't mean you're not expressing that feeling. It's just crying is just
a physical reaction.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Which is why it really annoys me when people are like, you need to cry. It's like,
no one needs to cry. It's just you shouldn't feel bad for crying. That's the main point, I think, because then that's when guys start feeling more, I guess, not insecure, but they feel like they can't open up for that fear of like, oh, I can't cry or I shouldn't cry. And then that board goes on the whole like mental awareness thing. Yeah. So like, you got to talk about your feelings and stuff, but when there's that thing attached, when some people have that, yeah, exactly, then it's just like, that's when shit goes south.
I think he said.
Have I said anything then? I feel like I just waffled.
I think he said something in there somewhere. It just takes a bit of searching, but I like the diamonds in the rough.
Okay, cool, sick. Cry if you want to. Don't cry if you don't want to. But talk about your feelings.
That'll be on a t-shirt soon.
That's it. Cry if you want to. I'd buy that.
Yeah, I'll take that.
And a big middle finger in the back. Just like, don't tell me what I can and can't do.
It's a crying emoji.
Yeah, but holding up a middle finger. Or maybe not. I don't know.
We'll figure it out. Well, the t-shirt's coming soon. Thank you guys for tuning in this week. Let us know what you think about men crying, about COVID tests if you've had one. And also check out the links in the description. We'll be sure to catch up and make sure we link all of them. Because I think we talk about it a lot, but never actually link it.
Yeah, I'll do that. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And if you're just listening to us, to our sexy voices on whichever podcast platform you're listening on, a rating and a review would be amazing.
Go 5 stars. 5 stars. 5 stars. Listen to your heart.
6 stars
5
if you
stars.
can.
I don't think it has that. Find the 6 star button. Find the 6 star button.
Peace, guys. Have a good one.